So with risk rating 2.0, one of the big things we're seeing is, of course, elevation certificates are no longer required. But what we're seeing in the marketplace with agencies is they're still telling customers they're required when it comes to these elevation certificates. The other thing is that flood maps are really only used from a regulatory standpoint now. And later on, we're going to look at some flood maps to kind of look at the different colors and show you where they're required, they're not, what they really mean. And so that's one of the big things with flood maps now. So these flood zones no longer determine flood insurance rates. There's also something called claims variable we'll get into. It's kind of really something you want to understand when you're talking with your clients about potentially filing a claim, helping them understand long-term, short-term impacts. You know, what could a $500 claim have on a policy? Phase one, as I mentioned, was actually October 1st, 2021. This was for new business, so any policy that was written after then, which I'm sure y'all already noticed. Phase two was April 1st, 2022. Really just happened not that long ago. And what happened is these policies came up for renewal. Let's say your policy renewed March 1st, 2022. You didn't have to go into risk rating 2.0 yet, but you will on the following renewal. But what happens is you can actually change it at any time. Like you mentioned, if you see a rate decrease, one of the cancellation reasons now is going over the 2.0. So that can be beneficial. So it's just something, as we're talking about this, you really want to think about and pay attention to, is that it could benefit them right away. And I'll give you an example. We had one that we were really struggling on. It was a lake property. The premiums had been $3,500, $4,500 a year. And when 2.0 hit, it was $1,150 a year because of how the risk was being looked at. So then one thing that you'll hear me say is that risk rating 2.0 is not necessarily a bad thing, but yes, there are some struggles with it. It's not perfect yet, but it is benefiting some people across North Carolina as well as across other states.